Thanks for joining the channel again today. Today we want to share with you our thoughts on Argentina and our time spent there. So what were the pros, what were the cons, how much did it cost us to spend our time there? It's definitely a meat eater's paradise, there's absolutely no doubt about that. So this was a local perilla in Palermo, Soho, about 60 Australian dollars, and that was at the lower end, that was with a bottle of wine, and of course you can pay a lot more. This is just to give you a bit of a sense of what the meat costs. So 500 grams of mince, about 660 Aussie dollars, or about just under $5 US. Bottle of Malbec, decent one, you can start about $5, and a beer for about $2 Australian dollars. So when we look at that you're definitely a wine, beer drinking, meat eating country, but street art is another thing about Argentina. Every corner you go, everywhere you turn, there's something interesting. Because it is a large urban centre, there's certainly parks around, but it's very built up, as urban centres typically are, with lots of high-rise buildings, residential apartments. So street art is one of the ways to illuminate and add colour to the place, and they do it exceptionally well. So it's really great to get out, walk around, and just see that art that's literally everywhere, and massive, sometimes right up the side of the building. So from there down to to smaller little sections, and good to see some old Fords and old cars sitting around there. The other thing I want to talk about was the culture, the architecture and arts. Again, because Buenos Aires is such an old city, there is wonderful sculptures, wonderful architecture. It really takes its inspiration from European architecture, particularly around the central part of the city. But the sculptures, the parks, the layouts, every kind of where you turn, there's something that you go, wow, that's awesome, and the architecture. Going from the very old and the old sort of style, European styled architecture, right through to very modern architecture you see on the screen there, down in the marina area. It's really amazing, the diversity, and you can spend days, hours sort of walking around and enjoying everything that Buenos Aires has to offer. And there's lots of things that it's got to offer for sure. Particularly when you go down the CBD, you've got so much of the old buildings there to really enjoy. We'll touch on the cons, and some of that basically is cost of living. So it is really expensive to live. And because life is so tough in Buenos Aires there, the morale of the people, you can sense it's quite low. Infrastructure is another one. We did have 3 power outages during the month there, so there's some issues. How much did it cost to stay in Argentina for a month? So I've done a full breakdown here. You can see on the screen, itemised everything there. We had a trip to Mendoza, so I've broken that out. But combined, we just spent under about 5,000 Aussie dollars for the month in Argentina. So what's this mate thing, this drink? Well, it starts off as a tree, and it gets turned into a tea, and it's drunk and consumed by Argentinians everywhere, all day, sometimes cold, sometimes hot, and that's what it looks like. But here's Marilyn's opinion on it. What do you think of the mate? What does it taste like?
Tea.
Like tea?
Tea.
Like really strong?
A strong tea.
A strong tea?
It's not a bad taste, but it's not very, I think, there's no water in there. It's all...
Well, you got to put a bit more in and let it settle, I think. Too much in your mate. You've just committed a mate sin.
Well, it goes down, and it's all boogie. It's all boogie.
So what's the verdict on Argentina? It's unfortunately not affordable, and that's sad because it is a great place It's totally safe. We didn't have any issues there. It's got awesome public transport that you can get around in Buenos Aires, and the Sube card available from all the different kiosks there. Lots of buses, trains, and everything else. It's great for beer and wine and red meat eaters, absolutely. There are some power outages which we did encounter, and some of the infrastructure is looking a little run down. It has a fairly narrow range of cuisine, and the Argentinians don't do spicy much. So there's lots of pizza, pasta, obviously red meat, chicken, and what have you. But if you're used to more spicy stuff, it's just not available. It is the Paris of the South. It is a beautiful spot. And I highly recommend that you go to Argentina and come to Argentina and check it out. It's a great place. Unfortunately, it's not very cost effective, and we were going to plan, or we had planned to stay for 3 months, but we're cutting that down to 1 month and heading off to a new destination. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Take care.